Stand back! The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Fae? Here.
Keep moving. This business doesn't concern you. Unless you're an expert scholar on the Fae, I'd suggest you move along. No reason to be out in the open with the Red Legion about. What are they? I'm not sure, but they've been here for longer than any of us can imagine. They're older than the trees. They have to be. They grew them. Humans and immortals cannot live together in peace, at least not forever. The peace we have with the Summer Court is unnatural. That's my opinion. You might call it a Fae nation, one of two united factions that rule their kind. The Summer Court are not exactly allies, but they do let us be, most of the time. It's the other Fae, the Winter Court, that has spawned the dreaded Tuatha, a vicious clan of killers who wish to defeat and enslave all mortals. Are you playing a trick on me? I would hope so. We're going on 10 years of the mortals and the Tuatha locked in a deadly embrace. Normally, I'd decry the bloodshed, but this is a conflict that we cannot afford to lose. Bandits, but no ordinary bandits. Surely you've heard of Red the Dead Edward. They say he drinks the blood of his captives, that he consumes their souls. Or perhaps those are just rumors. You should be fine if you stay inside the village. Once you go beyond the boundaries of Gorhart, however, your life is in your hands. I'd never seen one of them until a day or so ago. It appears that a small group of warriors ventured inland to strike behind our lines. Believe the stories, friend. The Tuatha are mad. They have been touched by a dark magic. They are wholly corrupted, and they are the enemy. I don't know if you noticed, but St. Odwig's mission closed its gate moments before that Fae's body turned up on the road. I don't like what that suggests. Not at all. The Brothers of St. Odwig's are an odd sort, scurrying back and forth across the mission like squirrels gathering nuts. I wonder what goes on behind those closed doors.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this. Peaceful Fae make up the tribe known as the Court of Summer. They are led by a king in a faraway city, hidden from mortal eyes. That's about all I know. Little more than rumors and stories from my youth. Our fate rests in the hands of a few chosen who fight in the east. You wouldn't even know it in Gorhart. We're miles away from the smoke and the screams. I've spent most of my life dealing with them, but they aren't like us. Not at the core. They don't know what it means to be a man who sweats to feed his family. Gorhart has become a sort of refuge for those settlers who wish to live a life free of Fae. I don't see that lasting. Not with the war. Not with everything changing. We keep a precarious peace with the Court of Summer, one that's tested every day. I lie awake at night worrying what kind of disaster awaits me in the morning. But we're a good community full of good people. We have our eccentrics, sure, but we work hard and live quietly. That's the best anyone can do these days. I'm the warden of Gorhart, and a poor one at that. I've been back from the war for only 6 months and been warden for less than 2. Now here I am with an injured Fae on my doorstep. I'm a disgrace. I've seen many bandit clans in the Crystal War and back home, but these men are a particular breed. They like their victims weak and bloody. The Red Legion has been a presence in the area for several weeks now. Our people are scared to show their faces after dark. I don't know what the Tuatha would be doing this far from the front lines. It must be something vital to their interests. They're a wicked breed, though, and I pity the man who meets up with them in these darkened forests. It appears she was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though. Well, you're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Aery. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I am a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. She spends her days on the precipice overlooking the village. She doesn't think we're aware of her presence, but we most certainly are. Bye now.
Who does not dwell behind the mission's walls, no. She is in every rock, and every tree, every bud, and every storm. She is with all of us.
I don't know if what the Fae say about these stones is true, but if it is, well, this is just too good to not say forever. Lystrom was out of town when Artol was visiting. Now, Lystrom doesn't know Artol, and Artol is older and strange. She could be mistaken for a Fate Weaver. So, when Lystrom came back to town, here was Artol the Oracular. I said to Lystrom, I hear her readings are amazing. You should go. Oh my, you should have seen it. A rooster, she said, will change into a man, and this man will become your lover. He will provide for you, and he will make you laugh, and he will make your life exciting and easier. But, and this is something you can never forget, he must never eat chicken. And once in a while, he will need to peck at things on the ground, and every morning at the break of dawn, you'll hear a loud cry from him.
May your hollow gods keep you mortal. I am called Aery. Your face is new to me. You're different from those in Gorhart. They amuse me, and I strive to learn all I can from them. Have you come to ask about the Tuatha? I can offer only what I know, and hope it will suffice. I feel them near, flitting through the western woods like shafts of shadow in the sunlight. What could have brought them here, I wonder? The Tuatha do not trouble themselves with easy prey. If they prowl these woods, it is for worthy quarry. I find them so interesting, from their vestments to their odd habits and demeanors. Just yesterday I saw a monk from the Almain mission sneaking through the underbrush. Strange creatures you are. Strange, but glorious. I adore every sad soul in the village, even stubborn Herc with his tender heart, and drunken old Arnick. The widow fascinates me. She has no idea that her lover is dead. I watch them from my perch, hoping to learn the meaning behind their pursuits and passions. If I could, I would grant each of them an eternity. Alas, I cannot. Faelands? Yes, I've heard these words before, but do not understand their meaning. There are only Fae, and there is only land. I do find all main sentiments so charming. We are kin to the seasons and cycles of all life, to new life and perpetual growth. Mortals may view the warmth of the petals and smell the beauty of a newborn bud, but only Fae know the strength of the roots beneath the surface. I wandered the forest for many seasons, listening to lore stones of the great ballads. Before that, I dwelled in the gardens of Issa. I prefer the quiet of this village, the mirth of the witless. They contain memories, great moments, ideas, songs and inspirations. The Fae do not record their words in ink or on paper. Ink fades, paper crumbles. Lore stones mark where our kind has made a lasting impression, where the seasons slowed to take note of glory on a grand scale. I cannot reveal much. The gardens are the jewel of the summer court, a wonder beheld by few mortals. It is located far east of here in a wood so thick it would devour all but those who knew its secrets. Do not pursue such mysteries, mortal. They are not for you. Yes, I witnessed this crime, although I did not recognize the one who perpetrated it. It is often difficult to distinguish one mortal from another. The victim was Illuvia, but I knew her only by name. You must be hoping that I can offer advice, but I cannot. If she is meant for the Great Cycle, then so be it. However, I would be quite interested to find out whether one of my kind would benefit from one of your mortal remedies. I've always wondered. It will need to be powerful. Your delicate forms are far more sensitive than ours. In fact, it's astounding that you survive as long as you do. All of us are at the mercy of the changing seasons, mortal and Fae alike. If it is one's time to pass into the Great Cycle, then we must not protest. The passing is keeping with autumn, and is as natural as the eventual rebirth. Farewell.
What is it? You made it. Just in time, too. Give me the potion. It will help, but it's not enough. Someone must go to the Fae and explain what happened here. One small misunderstanding and we'll no longer just be strangers to the Fae. We'll be enemies. She is a member of the House of Ballads, the legendary court of Fae heroes. They are warriors without equal, with centuries of glory to their names. If one of their own was killed by a mortal, the House of Ballads and its king would bring a fierce vengeance upon us. Gorhart would be a ruin by day's end. I'm not sure yet, but this is bad. She's Fae. Even worse, she's a knight in the House of Ballads. Fae don't kill their own, so it must have been someone in Gorhart. If the House of Ballads learns of this, the king will burn Gorhart to the ground. They see all mortals as invaders. We could go to the Warsworn and get an oath of protection, but that would require payment. We mustn't cover this up. But who do we tell? You're turning out to be very helpful, my friend. You have my gratitude. I'll see to it that you're honored. Rumor says that the House of Ballads has its headquarters not far from here, in Glendara to the northeast. Try to gain entrance if you can. All I know is what I learned in my youth. The heroism of King Wenson and his court of enchantments. My gran spoke of them nightly as she sat by my bedside. For all I know, the House of Ballads is nothing more than myth. But I have a feeling that it exists somewhere out in the deep mists of the Feylands. Once they fought the beasts of chaos, marching to glory through many victories. Sadly, they fell, as all great men do. Now they're nothing more than hired blades. Anyone can earn their allegiance with a few pieces of gold. It's east of here, in the meadows of Yolvin. The Feylands are a wicked place, crawling with creatures so strange you'll assume you're dreaming. Farewell.
Spoke. The people, remembering all after war, called for Durek's fate. Slay them, the foul and wretched tribe, said Dokalfar. Spare them, the poor and miserable beasts, cried Losalfar. Their minds, depraved and hatred-poisoned, twisted. Alpha struck Alpha over drink, at feast, when all else is merry, when peace reigns in havens. Hateful, I am told, were cousins towards each other. From the cold-blessed Ferial, Beala Tirin, with a head to seek Lyria's guidance, set forth on a pilgrimage.
If I have to live for the rest of my life without him knowing, well then I'll deal with that. I think there's something to be said for it. I think it's noble. Yeah, I could tell someone, but that's just asking for praise. What makes it an act of kindness is that nobody knows, or at least that he doesn't know. I let him have the glory. No one has to know his arrow missed. He saved the town. He's a hero.
Proceed no farther, mortal. You are not one of our kind, and the seat of Sir Sagrel will never be occupied by one so mundane. Hallam the White prepares the contest, and he must not be interrupted at this our time of greatest need. No doubt you speak of Illuvia, impetuous fool. I told her to avoid your settlement, to avoid Odaroth altogether. She never listened to my warnings. I will chastise her appropriately upon her return. It is a loss, yes, but not the first unexpected event in this telling. What happened? Yes, I have noticed a growing number of humans in Dalentarth. It must be this war. I can't say I understand it. Oh, yes, your kind usually expects some form of trophy for good deeds. A bauble or prize? Perhaps another time. If you would be so kind as to deliver this message. We mean the people of Gorhart no ill will. They have nothing to fear from us. It is to fill an unoccupied seat in the House of Ballads. This is not a mortal concern. If Hallam learns I told you, he may see to it that I am banned from the telling. I am known as the Squire. It is my duty to assist the Chancellor of the House of Ballads in all of his many endeavors. Hallam treats me well, and it is an honor to serve. The mortals in Gorhart believe they have established a permanent settlement, but they are sadly mistaken. Those homes will crumble. Those graves will multiply. Trees may be cut down, vines stripped away, but the forest will return, and it will not suffer the footsteps of men. Neither will the Fae. The storyteller leads us all in the telling of the great songs of the Summer Court. He administers our house and serves our great knights in the Court of Enchantments. Only the greatest heroes of the summer may be counted among the Court of Enchantments. Gwenson, Belmaid, Ferrara, Olaine, Eärmer, and Creth. Their glory unites all Fae in a common narrative. It is one of the few things our people share. The House of Ballads is home to the Court of Enchantments, where our heroes congregate and train before performing the feats that made them legends. There are 3 main structures on the grounds. The Court of Enchantments itself features the Wall of Saga, which depicts the most noteworthy songs in our canon. The Hall of Accolades is where the finest Fae crafters offer their services. Trainers can be found in the Summer Sanctuary, where we go when seeking enlightenment. He was one of our most beloved knights, a Ballad's treasure. I can't bear to think of him dead, now across the sea. A warrior for our savage cousins in the Winter Court. I did not fear them in previous seasons. They were our allies, as important to us as the autumn is to spring. But the Tuatha have upset the balance. This new breed of mad Fae has seized the Court of Winter in its grip. There can only be a summer and a winter. There is no other third order if we crave balance. Farewell.